How much will you need to be making in order to comfortably afford the all-new, fully redesigned 2025 Toyota 4Runner? Let's find out. Okay, so the 2025 4Runner hasn't yet been fully revealed and a release date hasn't been mentioned, but we are slowly getting some more information about it. So let's see about what the cost breakdown might be off of estimates from previous models and taking into consideration the full redesign. So we're going to be expecting a starting price somewhere around about $45,000. It is supposed to be released in about July of 2024. And we do know that it's going to have some new features, of course, and it is supposed to have a new interior that is highly based off of the 2024 newly redesigned Toyota Tacoma. It's safe to say that there's going to be a delivery fee of about $1,395 because that seems pretty consistent on vehicles about the same size throughout the Toyota website. And keep in mind that all the numbers that I use in all of my videos are very much an average and are very subject to change, especially in this video where we don't have access to all of the information just yet, so we are having to factor in other cars from previous models and previous years to kind of get an average of what this is going to look like. So just make sure you keep that in mind too. And with that, if you add an 8% sales tax, then that would be $3,711.60 in sales tax, which would then bring the total price to $50,106.60. And for this particular situation, let's say you did a down payment of about 10%, that would be about $5,010.66 that you would be putting down. And we'll say you get approved for 72-month financing, which is a total of 6 years, with an 8% APR. Then your monthly payments will land somewhere around $790.68. And in those 6 years, you'll pay $11,832.87 in interest. Okay, and we are going to take a pretty good estimate at some other things that you have to factor in, because of course that's not everything that goes into owning a vehicle, and we want to get the best idea of what it would cost to actually own the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. So we have to factor in things like car insurance, which I'm going to give it a little boost from the previous year's model, considering it will be a newer vehicle. So the car insurance is going to be somewhere around $1,500 a year, or about $125 a month. But of course, this is going to depend very much on your age, the state that you live in, your driving history, and a bunch of other factors. So that's going to be very subject to change based on your personal circumstances. So just make sure you keep that in mind. And of course, we don't know the exact gas mileage that the 2025 model is going to get, but we do know that it is supposed to heavily resemble the 2024 Toyota Tacoma lineup, and it's supposed to have the engine lineup of the Toyota Tacoma. However, I'm not sure if it's going to have the hybrid option, because Toyota has mentioned in the past that they want to have a hybrid option on their entire lineup, but since then they've brought back the Land Cruiser, which has only a hybrid option, so I feel as though that might be the replacement for the hybrid 4Runner, but we'll see as far as that goes. But going off of the Toyota Tacoma roughly, and the previous models of the 4Runner, then I'm going to say that if you take into consideration the average person driving about 1,200 miles per month, or about 15,000 miles per year, plus the average current cost of gas today, and all the other things that we've considered, then I would say that you would be spending about $175 a month for your average gas cost. And in terms of maintenance, I'm not going to assume that it's too far off of the previous 2024 model, so I'm going to say that on average you'd be looking at about $469 a year, which is about $39.08 a month for your average maintenance cost. And if you add all of these expenses together, then you're going to be looking at about $1,129.76 for the all-new Toyota 4Runner. And if you wanted to keep that at a comfortable 15% of your average income, then that would mean that you'd need to be making about $90,380.80 annually in order to keep it in that comfortable 15% range. And just to put that in perspective for you, if you paid those same monthly expenses every month for the entire 72 months that you financed, and you only paid for the 4Runner for those 6 years, plus the original 10% down payment, then in those 6 years alone, you would pay a total of $86,353.38 total in those 6 years for the all-new 2025 Toyota 4Runner. And if you want to see the cost breakdown that I did on the 2024 Toyota 4Runner, I will plug that in at the top, so be sure to check that out as well. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next.